Mosier, the Trinidad Steel Drummers. Bob Hamilton Trio, Henry Lasco, Al Kelly. Without Clark Gable, Grace Kelly, or John Wayne. With Peter Hanley, Bill Wendell, and Barbara. And now here's the star of our show, Ernie Kovacs.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. I don't like to get personal requests into this, but if you can, truly, this is serious. If you can help us out, we had the end of camp at our home the other day, and our little daughters, Kippy and Betty, came home. And Kippy came home, and she said, look, Mommy, and she brought her a little frog for her mother. And that night we were going out, and my wife was kissing the children goodnight. And Kippy held up, she forgot to kiss the froggy. And the next day, somehow or another, the frog has gotten away in the house. And I have little suspicions of our cat, Schultz. And you can't get a pet frog anyplace in New York. So if there's anyone across the country who could send a pet frog live to me for Kippy, I would appreciate it. To NBC, Ernie Kovacs, NBC. Just one, though, each. One frog. That we would really appreciate. Thank you. That's NBC, Ernie Kovacs, a live frog. I'd appreciate it. Put little holes in there so it can breathe and everything. You can either send it to me or Pat Weaver, whichever address makes you feel better. He runs, he's got some little job up there. And don't louse it up. We have tonight a couple of wonderful guests tonight, Enid Mosier. We have Bill Hayes. With Enid will be the Trinidad Steel Drummers. We will do a thing on the life of Berlin Schwartz, the composer. We have Matza Hepplewhite, the itinerant magician, coming in. And a couple of things. Well, we are late already? All right, just before we go. There we are. All right. Now, Enid Mosier and the Trinidad Steel Drummers.
Look, see, nice, agree. Ladies and gentlemen, now, tree. Banana tree. With lips pouting, every shade, every shape of the guy, they're in the shade. Much from here to here. Even there, I'm unfortunate child. No be all this kind of card. Just lazy way today. Wanna pop two things on your face, but I wink, take to the music that see a fine drink full of femininity. Look, see, nice, agree. Too late to see, not
Thank you very, very much. And now we have a very special treat for you.
a new instrument that very few people know anything about. It's called the steel drums. And of course, the three boys that play the steel drums are from Trinidad. Alfonso plays guitar pan. Michael plays melody. Rod plays second pan. When I was small, a baby, you know me big sister didn't like me. Imagine me when I was a baby, you know me big sister didn't like me. Every time me ma go into the grocery, she's going to ask me sister to hold me, and from then with a crying. This time me sister swinging me up and singing. The son of my lovely animal, I don't know why I make you a fool. This coming me every day. I have a great mind to throw these kids away. She hopped off the bus as if she was crazy. The driver drove away with me buddy, and when she reached home and sat down to drink she tea, and me mother asked me sister for me ma, I forget him on the bus. Me mother shout, oh Lord, me only boy child lost. That son of an ugly animal, I don't know why I make him at all. Discommoding me every day. I am so glad that the bus carry him away. She was walking the distance, point one here. Well, old lady walk a mile and a half, and tilly. Old lady walk a mile and a half, and tilly. When a boy see good towels, she tie up she head. In a basket she had some bread. Old lady walk a mile and a half, and tilly. Old lady walk a mile and a half, and tilly. And tilly.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Time once again for Mr. Question Man. All of the questions sent to Mr. Question Man are carefully tabulated in files. Some of them are read. Our first question comes from Mr. Arthur B. Kosnowski of Macon, Indiana. Arthur B. Kosnowski of Macon, Indiana writes, Dear Mr. Question Man, I am writing to you from inside a burning warehouse. Let me take a moment of your time to go back a bit. I bought this house 11 years ago in November. No, I believe it was February. Well, when I bought it, they told me that it was fireproof. By the way, please pardon the condition of this stationery. Well, at about 11 o'clock tonight, a fire broke out in the southern wing of the warehouse. It spread rapidly, and at this writing, I would say 96% of the warehouse is in flames. There goes another wall. I'm standing on the last 2 feet of flooring in the north wing, and I'd say that this will only last, 3 minutes, perhaps 2 with a good wind. I really am at a loss to know what to do. And while I do not mean to press you, I would appreciate an answer at your earliest convenience. Best regards to you and Mrs. Question Man, Arthur Kosnowski.
I'm afraid that in the present day hurly-burly of rapid transactions, we sometimes put insufficient trust in those with whom we do business. Your real estate agent was telling the truth. By law, all warehouses in Macon, Indiana must be fireproof, so you have no cause for alarm. While I do not mean to appear severe, I am forced to say I feel a certain embarrassment for you and your attitude toward the real estate agent. Should you manage to survive for another moment or two, you might take the time to drop him a social note without mentioning your suspicions. I think that'd be awfully nice. At any rate, good to hear from one of our listeners in Indiana.
Dear Mr. Question Man, writes Mrs. Catherine Hildebrand of Little Rock, my sister has been living with us for 13 years. My husband and I would love to have her marry and settle down. However, we have not been able to find someone for her. She is 8 feet tall. What do you suggest?
May I suggest you find 2 men, each 4 feet tall?
A young student from Hightstown, New Jersey writes, Dear Mr. Question Man, I am studying science in high school. I am quite puzzled by this phenomenon. It is well known that the earth is round like a ball. Therefore, some people must be walking on it upside down. Why is it that these people do not fall off?
You have stated a common misconception. People are falling off all the time.
And now a letter from Abner Wolf of Schenectady, New York. Mr. Wolf writes us as follows. Dear Mr. Question Man, I am very interested in the religious group called the Sikhs, who wear beards, are excellent warriors, tie their turbans in a special way, and usually live in the hills of northern India. They are noted for never venturing from their native land. Consequently, I was very curious to see that a tall, bearded gentleman who wears a turban of this nature has moved into the apartment next to mine. Tell me, is it possible that this man is a Sikh?
No, he's feeling pretty good. Just got a little headache, that's all.
Trader Rogers of Upper Gum, South Africa writes, 1 year ago, I married Kino, the daughter of the cannibal chief of these parts. Living here has been rather confusing as they have different dates for holidays that I have been accustomed to. For instance, last week, the cannibals celebrated Easter. Next week, we're going to observe Thanksgiving. A point of etiquette has arisen. Kino's father, the chief, has suggested that we have the local missionary for Thanksgiving. Is this considered proper in the United States?
No, we're still eating turkey here.
Chief Bardoni El Swahili of the Wambisi tribe in equatorial South Africa has written an interesting letter. Dwanya Nagi Hagu, Inga Green Lakabondi, Lawana Tiganadu, Kabi Dig Navas Bonta, Motoloni Argu Diban,
Genda Ranyo Boro Dobilaka.
Mr. Nick Greco of Las Vegas, Utah, would like the answer to this question. I'm at this very moment playing table stakes poker with some very big gamblers. I have 3 queens, a 7, and a 4 in my hand. The man on my right drove all night from Wichita, Kansas to get in the game. I think he might be tiring a little now and not thinking too clearly. The man on my left took just 1 card, but he's known to play an unorthodox game. I figure him for just 2 pair, but he could be holding 3 of a kind. The pot has been raised 4 times already, twice by the man who drove from Wichita, once each by the man sitting across from me who might be bluffing. Considering that I'm holding 3 queens, do you think I should raise the pot 1 more time, call the man on my right, and then raise the man across from me, or just call and see who raises him, then raise, or should I raise the man on my left and then drop out if someone re-raises me? Well, that seems to be all the time we have for Mr. Question Man. Be sure to join us again when Mr. Question Man will answer such questions as, are Dave Garraway's those little seeds on rye bread? Is it proper to drink coffee in a T-shirt? Do they use real iodine on the medic? Does the DC-7 eat its young? And in a fair fight, could Rocky Marciano beat Charles Coburn?
Gentlemen, welcome to another session of This Is No Business. And now we welcome our first performing guest, Yancy Koznowski. And now, Mr. Koznowski, what is your problem?
I ain't got no talent. You caught me, you sneak. Edie Adams, well, I guess this may be her last show. We may be able to get her on once more on our last show next week. However, she is rehearsing the part of Daisy May in the forthcoming musical, Little Abner, which will be opening in New York on November the 15th. And they're working very hard all day long, all night, rehearsing. So she just breezed in a little bit while ago to sing my favorite song. I hope it's yours. Scarlet Ribbons.
And then I heard my child in prayer, and for me some scarlet ribbons for my hair. All the stores were closed and shuttered, all the streets were dark and bare. In our town, no scarlet ribbons, not one ribbon for her hair. Through the night, my heart was aching. Just before the dawn was breaking, I peeked in, and on her bed, in gay profusion, lying there, lovely ribbons, scarlet ribbons, scarlet ribbons for her hair. If I live to be 200, I will never know from where came those lovely
Publishing Company. Hello. I want to speak to Sam Hertz. Sam. Berlin Schwartz. I just wrote a hit. Hello?
These songwriters.
Look, Sam, let's get back on the subject. Now, I'm sick of all of this ragtime tripe you've been publishing. I want a real hit tune. I want a real digga-digga-doo. Why, I want some songs like Always Leave 'Em Laughing When You Say Goodbye, Goodbye Eliza Jane, The Burning of Rome.
Now, Isabel, be patient. After all, we can't come up with a Give My Regards to Broadway or a Barney Google with his googly eyes every time. We keep looking for good songs,
You
Isabel,
heard
but we
me,
can't.
Sam. Now, I'll switch to Harry Chumple's firm if you don't come up with something good.
Oh, ma'am. You smell like big time. Is that there cologne you're wearing?
Yeah, good looking. Like it?
Chicken inspector. Mr. Hertz, I'm Berlin Schwartz. I wrote you about my tune. I wrote down the hit song. I'd like to play it for you.
Berlin Schwartz, eh? Say, I like your manner. By the way, Schwartz, this is Isabel Clinker.
Not the Isabel Clinker, the maid when the itchy-gitchy-goo goes back to Kalamazoo and goes poo-poo-pa-doo ahead.
The same. Schwartzy.
Crazy.
I want that hip tune, Sam.
I'll play my song for you, Mr. Hertz.
Go ahead, kid. Let's see you tickle the ivories.
I call it I Love You So Much, Mr. Hertz. I love you so much. I thrill at your touch. I'm always in Dutch. Ba-do-do, because I love you. Sorry, Bobby,
You've got a hit. What do you call it?
I love you so much.
Oh, I'll sing it, Sam. Oh, Schwartzy, I think you and I are going to make beautiful music together. Thank you. You've been just wonderful this evening. And now for my last number, I'm going to sing that new smash by Berlin Schwartz. I love you so much. I love you so much. I thrill at your touch. I'm always in touch. 'Cause I love you so much.
I feel like a touch. I'm always in touch. 'Cause I love you so much.
I'm always in touch because I love you so much.
Come in. Odds, Jeeves, send them in.
a Miss Clinker, sir. Will you see her?
Clinker, that must be Isabel. Send her in, please.
Oh, hello, Schwartzy. I thought we could talk a minute, Schwartzy. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Pardon. Excuse me. Well. Excuse me, please. Schwartzy. Schwartzy, I thought we could...
No, turn it off, Punjab.
Oh, Schwartzy, I know that living like this must have cost you an awful lot of money, and you haven't written a hit since I Love You So Much. I need another hit, Schwartzy.
Hand me a pencil, Isabel.
Oh.
I'll call this one, I Love You Too Much.
Oh.
Sing it, Isabel.
I love you too much. I thrill at your touch. I'm always in Dutch, 'cause I love you so much.
Oh, you've done it again, Schwartzy. Let's go.
I love you too much. I'm always in Dutch.
Oh, I think you've done it again, Schwartzy.
Think?
I know you've done it again.
And you say your name is Cleanly Presley. This is your song, I Love You So Much, Much, Much. Well, let's hear it, son. I love you so much. Brittle, brittle, brittle at your touch. I'm always in touch. 'Cause I love you so much. Every week, we have been very happy about Bob Hamilton, who has done some real weird dances. And every week I've said, Bob, here's another one. He said, boy. And this week, I said, Bob, how would you like to finally get a chance to do one of your great things that we've always loved so much? And he said, I'd like that. So here is Bob Hamilton with the Bob Hamilton Trio.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have had some very extra special guests on the Ernie Kovacs show, and we intend to keep having them. One of the most unusual from the standpoint of those people on the show has been a magician. We've tried, being backstage, to try to find out some of the ways that he does his tricks. We can't do it. He's that amazing. As we introduce now, the great Mosier, ladies and gentlemen.
Greetings, oh puny minds. Welcome and look well into the world of legend and man with Mosier, the itinerant magician. Will perform miracles that will leave you gasping as though you have a little gas. And now, some people forget whose show they're on. Will some young man from the audience care to come up to assist me? And now the great Mosier will perform another great feat of magic. But first... another case of that. The great Mosier's running a little low. Thank you for your assistance, young man. No personal problems. I'm sorry, we just do magic tricks. Step down.
You didn't do the trick?
I know, she just told me. I don't need everybody telling me. All right, are there any questions about the next trick? You'll notice by a quick gesture, I have a pack of cards in my hand.
Right, very good.
Thank you. And now, you, sir. Think of a card. Think of a card. How are you coming?
I've got it narrowed down to 2 of them, but I can't decide which one. I think I've got it.
Good. No, I didn't mean that. Perhaps just a short one. There, young man, is the card you were thinking of.
Well, what card did you pull out?
What were you thinking of?
The 8 of clubs?
I guess many of you would like to know how I did that trick. Sorry. These secrets were handed down by an ancient Capuchin monk who would betray his secret world and bring disgrace upon the house. Thank you. Thank you for coming up from the audience. How about a little hand? Not while I'm working, please.
I insist.
And now, my dear, the other deck of cards. Would someone from the audience care to come up and help me?
Hey, hey!
That fellow in the blue suit pulled me by the arm.
Thank you for coming up, young man. Have you ever seen me before?
Don't you remember?
Or have I ever seen you before?
Don't you remember the 8 of...
Very good. Now, I want you to take a card from this deck.
You want me to think of one like before?
No, just pick one.
Because I still have a headache from the last time.
Just pick a card.
Okay, I made up my mind.
Wonderful.
I'll take that one.
Well?
You can't trick me, mister. I picked that one. Now, don't try and make you...
Well, take it out of that deck! I see numbers before me. I see diamonds. I see a 7. I see the 7 of diamonds. Is that correct?
Would you repeat that, please?
The 7 of diamonds.
That's right. It is. It's the 7 of diamonds. That was a darn good trick. How did you do that?
How about a little hand for our boy? Well, never mind. Just sit down anyway. And now... All right. Inspect this tube. Is it hollow?
Oh, yes, it is hollow, great master.
Is number 2 tube hollow?
Oh, yes, it is hollow, oh, great master.
And number 3 tube, is it hollow?
Oh, yes, it is hollow, oh, great master.
All 3 tubes are hollow. Thank you. This aged Capuchin monk was wise and wise in the ways of magic. One thing he told me... And as I stood with the aged Capuchin monk, watching Mount Etna, Mount Stromboli, and Mount McKinley in the sunset, all erupting simultaneously, I said, I'd like to know how to do that trick. And he said, Matza, I like the cut of your gin. And so, perhaps there are some dollars among us. Have you ever seen me before?
No, I've never seen you before, great master.
And have I ever seen you before?
No, you have never seen me before, oh, great master.
And have you ever been sawed in half? Have you ever been sawed in half?
Oh, well, give me a minute, will you?
Gee, what a grouch. All right. And now, I'm ready. Raise your right leg. Your right leg. All right. Now put your leg down. Put your leg down. Would someone from the audience care to come up and inspect this case? All right, now the great matzo will begin sawing. Are you ready, my dear?
Ready? Ready!
God bless you.
Sawdust is making me sneeze.
What?
The sawdust is making me sneeze.
Well, I can't help it. I can't saw without sawdust. I'm no magician. I don't know. I know no one knows it, but when Edie went on tonight, she's had 2 operations. One today on her jaw. She has an infected jaw. That's why she sang the whole song.
Just a bad tooth, that's all.
Silence. Look at the big thing. You look like Mammy Yoakum.
That's why I wish I was playing this
She's
week.
playing Daisy May, and she'll be. She's on the road, but she does have this thing. She's been draining and everything and all that stuff. You know.
September 12th in Washington. Hope you come.
You'll never make it with that jaw.
I hope so.
Let's bring on everybody, please. Would you come on? We'll never squeeze in everybody's. Our guests, Bill Hayes and Enid Mosier, and everybody. Uncle Jim Hawkins was with us tonight, and Barbara, and Steve Hanley. Not while I'm working. One thing. Would we have... One thing. I would like to introduce a gentleman here tonight. By the way, I want to thank the director or whoever it was that slipped the real liquor in the bottle. Now you know what they were laughing at. But it's so warm here. I would like to introduce a gentleman. Next week we're going to have Parenti and Teicher, those wonderful pianists. The Nairobi Trio will be back, and we hope to have Marilyn with us for a quickie also. Wait. Our NBC Vice President who wanted to run a camera, would you run your camera? He's been so nice to us all year running his little